Good morning, Year 3. So, for our new topic in English, we're going to be studying The Iron Man by Ted Hughes. Now, Mrs. Joshi has read us part of the first chapter, so I'd like us to listen to that. While you're listening to it, I want you to really think about how the author, Ted Hughes, uses language to build up a picture in your mind of what the Iron Man looks like. So as you listen to Mrs. Joshi, have a really good think. What do you think that Iron Man looks like? And what clever phrases does the author use to put those pictures into your head?
Hello Year 3. I'd like to read the first chapter of our book that we're going to be looking at over the next couple of weeks and potentially beyond that. So the story is by a very talented writer called Ted Hughes, and it's called The Iron Man. The Iron Man by Ted Hughes, Chapter 1. The Coming of the Iron Man. The Iron Man came to the top of the cliff. How far had he walked? Nobody knows. Where had he come from? Nobody knows. How was he made? Nobody knows. Taller than a house, the Iron Man stood at the top of the cliff, on the very brink, in the darkness. The wind sang through his iron fingers. His great iron head, shaped like a dustbin but as big as a bedroom, slowly turned to the right, slowly turned to the left. His iron ears turned this way, that way. He was hearing the sea. His eyes, like headlamps, glowed white, then red, then infrared, searching the sea. Never before had the Iron Man seen the sea.
So our TLP for today is, can I interpret phrases and use them to make a prediction? So let's look at the very, very first part of the story. The Iron Man came to the top of the cliff. How far had he walked? Nobody knows. Where had he come from? Nobody knows. How was he made? Nobody knows. Taller than a house, the Iron Man stood at the very top of the cliff, on the very brink in the darkness. Now, in that first part of the story, there's not actually a lot of information about the Iron Man and what he looks like. There's a lot of questioning, which makes us think that he's a bit mysterious, but not a lot of description. Can you spot the phrase that gives us a description of what the Iron Man looks like? I'll give you a minute to look for it. Okay, now what I found, here's my pen, is where it said taller than a house. Taller than a house. That gives us information about what the Iron Man looks like. So he's not a tiny Iron Man, the size of a baked bean can. He's even taller than a house. Okay, if we move on to the next part of the story. The wind sang through his iron fingers. His great iron head, shaped like a dustbin, but as big as a bedroom, slowly turned to the right, slowly turned to the left. So in this section, we have more information about what his head looks like. What are the phrases for you that give you a picture in your head? I'm spotting where it says his great iron head, shaped like a dustbin, but as big as a bedroom. So quite a lot of information there about what the head looks like. So it's not a square head, it's not shaped like a cube, it's shaped like a cylinder, like a dustbin, but as big as a bedroom. So if you think about the size of your bedroom, but shaped as a cylinder, as a dustbin, that's giving you a pretty good picture in your head. His iron eyes turned this way, that way. He was hearing the sea. His eyes, like headlamps, glowed white, then red, then infrared, searching the sea. Never before had the Iron Man seen the sea. So again, have a think. What phrases here would you underline? Now, Now again, we've got his iron ears. His eyes, like headlamps, glowed white, then red, then infrared, searching the sea. So using what we already know, can we pick out those phrases and use them to make a prediction about what the Iron Man looks like? So we have to use the evidence from the text. So if we quickly go back, I know that he was taller than a house, so I need to draw a big Iron Man. Then let's think about his head. His great iron head, shaped like a dustbin, but as big as a bedroom. So let's start with that. Now I know, please excuse my drawing by the way, I'm trying to do it on the computer so it's a bit tricky. So I'm going to do a cylinder shape for his great iron head. Okay, now to show that he's really big, I'm going to do some tiny birds next to him flying through the sky so that we can see just how big he is. Okay, so this is his giant iron head. Now let's skip back. Oh, now we know he has got iron ears. Okay, that's great. And we know he's got fingers, but I'm not quite ready for my fingers yet. So, iron ears. Now, it doesn't tell me what shape they are, so I'm going to have to use my imagination a bit for this. But I know he has got ears on either side of his head. Okay, little bit wonky. I'm sure you can do better on your paper. Now, what was it they said about his eyes? Let's go back to his eyes. His eyes like headlamps. Now, when I think about headlamps, I think about things of a car that has headlamps. Think about round and brightly coloured. And it says glowed white, then red, then infrared. So I'm going to use the red for that section. So I know they're going to be round. Right, let me change my pen colour to red. Now, they're headlamps, so I think they are big and red. Oh, let's try again. Big and red and searching. We know they're going to be searching. Okay, I'm going to try and colour these in. Apologies if it doesn't work quite well. Oh, not too bad. Okay. Now, they're headlamps, so should I do a pupil? I'm thinking maybe not. I'm just going to stick with my large red eyes. Now, going back to my description. Now, I know he's got fingers, but I'm not quite ready for my hands yet. What I think I need to do is I need to read a bit more of the story to improve my picture. I've made a start. I've made a big iron head shaped like a dustbin. I've added his iron ears. I've added the eyes that glowed red and were like headlamps. So I'm quite pleased with my prediction so far. So what I'd like you to do now is to read the first page of your chapter 1. Try and find some more clues. So similarly to how I did it, you can underline the descriptive phrases and then use those to help you draw your picture. It may also help you to label what you've done to prove where you got your evidence from. Now, like I did with the ears, some of it you might have to use your imagination, but you can certainly label, as I'm just about to do here, iron ears, to show that you have the information. And I'm going to use this, so eyes like headlamps. Okay, let's see if I can move that out of the way. Use my pointy thing. Eyes like headlamps. So once you've completed your picture, you can label some of the phrases onto your picture that describe what the Iron Man looks like and that predict what the Iron Man will look like. Right, I look forward to seeing your annotated pictures later.